Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Amy, and guess what? We've got a Temu haul today, so stay tuned. All right, so it's a love-hate relationship with Temu, right? Because I love Temu, but Temu doesn't love me, but you all love Temu. So it's beneficial to me when I can do a Temu haul every once in a while. So that's what we have got. I placed an order really about a couple weeks ago, and not all of it's come in yet, but the majority of it is. So the things that haven't come in yet, I'm gonna haul when my Shein order comes in. So let's get to this, and I'm super thirsty, so let me take a drink from my Happy Meal. Okay, where's my phone? I want to be able to do the prices. You guys, so I did another one of those get gifts free deals, and I think I got 8 free gifts, and I forgot to claim one of them. It was the day that I had to have the phone call with my mom's occupational therapist, and I had a recurring alarm set on my phone for 2 p.m. and 2 p.m. was the day that or was the time that the meeting with the occupational therapist was, and so I just canceled the alarm instead of snoozing it or whatever. And so then I totally forgot that day to go in and claim a gift. And honestly, actually, I can't even remember now what gift I lost because it was just gone. I couldn't even see it anymore up there. So I guess that's good they did that, and so that I wasn't just sitting there being sad that I lost one of my free gifts. But yeah, that's one of the dangers of doing the buy something and get a bunch of free gifts, as you might accidentally forget. But I remembered to claim all the other 7, but some of those haven't come in yet. So some of the stuff I paid for, some of it was free gifts because of what I paid for. And I'm no longer a Temu Circle member because I don't order enough. I feel like that program is only worth it if you order all the time, which, so it was worth it for me before. It is not worth it for me now because the free gifts you get, like, and now they're trying to charge me the $27.99 for 3 months, and that's just crazy talk. So I don't do that anymore. I don't play Fishland or Farmland anymore because one of them's Fishland is not even available to me anymore, and it's the one that I had completed but hadn't finished. Like, I had enough fish food but hadn't finished feeding the fish, and then they just took it away. So yeah, I don't play those anymore. But yeah, I've got some fun things, some fashion, some crafts, and so let me get my Temu stuff pulled up and we'll get started. So what do you guys think of Temu now? Do you feel like it's still the place to be, the place to shop, the place to get all the good deals, or do you feel like they are slowly becoming just like everybody else? I do agree that they are still cheaper in general on most things, but I don't know, the fun is lost for me. Like, it was so fun to me to try to work out really good deals and get, you know, cash back. And now I'm getting cash back, but it's just whatever the cash back is if there's a price adjustment, and there's hardly ever price adjustments on the stuff I buy from local warehouses, go figure. So I don't know, it's just not as much fun. I don't know, I liked the thrill of it before, and I know some people can still get some fairly decent deals, and I see occasionally some good deals, but they're not on things I want. So I'm trying to be smarter and just buy things that I want and will use. I mean, I was always kind of that way, which is why I didn't have some of the really cool things to haul on here, because I don't want to just be buying things for buying things sake, which would be very easy to do, but I really do try to get stuff that I will use in some way. So that being said, let's get started. So I'm gonna start out with some stickers because stickers. Well, we just had stickers in the Amazon video that I just posted. And stickers are awesome. Temu has so many different subject matters for stickers. This one is retro electronics. So I had a flip phone like this. Megaphone. Is that an ATM machine? What is that? Well, it's got a phone over here. I don't know what that is. Aw, Polaroid. What does that say? Oh, it's film. I used to work, I was on the yearbook committee in 8th grade, and so I got to develop film. I know what film is. Pocket watch. Now, these handset phones and rotary phones are becoming super popular. There's so many people that are picking these up now in antique stores and selling them. And there's also been a movement to go back to landlines in some places. I kind of wish, as a parent, I wish my kids didn't have such ready access to a smartphone. But there are some parents out there that are putting their kids back on landlines. And so they're, buying these cool phones. And we were at an antique store over the weekend, and we came across a rotary phone, and we asked each of the kids to dial a certain number, and it's kind of funny to watch. But little typewriter, so a cute little kit. There were 50 in this, and I got this for my Biddy bundle ephemera packs, which are, everything in that pack is like sort of like this size or smaller. Vintage ephemera. It's mostly vintage ephemera with some stuff like this thrown in, just because I know people love stickers. And that, let's see if I can find the right one for that. I think that's in this one. Yes. Oh, it's only 48 pieces. Okay, so these were $2.45 compared to that crow set that I got from Amazon for $1.99. So Temu's, like I said, Temu's getting more expensive. And I'm kind of surprised that the Amazon ones are so cheap, because I kind of would have thought that it was the same deal as what you see on TikTok Shop, where people are buying them from places like Temu, AliExpress, Shein, marking them up and then selling them on TikTok. I kind of assumed that's what would be happening on Amazon too, but apparently not, at least not in that case. So $2.45 for 48 stickers. And there's other stickers in this particular order. So let's just get all the stickers out of the way so we can get tired of the stickers now and be done with it. Because I think there's 4 sets of stickers. So the next set I got, which I love butterflies. So you guys, we found I need to look it up, but when we stopped, one of the places we stopped this weekend, there was a butterfly, a beautiful butterfly that had died in the front grill of the van. So I pulled it out, and which was actually very easy to pull out of, like it didn't tear anything. And I put it in something so that we could bring it home. I'm trying to figure out a way to preserve it. I almost need one of those like magnetic closure things that has the really thick plastic in between that would like mold around it, because I want to spread the wings out and save it, but I don't want to have to do the whole pinning to a board or something. So I don't know what I'm going to do yet. And I don't know if, obviously butterflies decay over time. So I don't know. I need to look up and see how to preserve this because it's a beautiful. I think it had some blue on it, which seems kind of rare. But anyway, so there's these stickers, which are, you know, have some clear stuff that would be great on book page kind of stuff. So just a whole, oh, let me turn them around. Just a whole bunch of these kind of framed butterflies in all different beautiful colors. I want to at some point I have some butterfly ephemera listed in my shop, but I want to at some point have a butterfly kit that's got lots of different butterfly pieces in it for people that like to work with butterflies. So this would be a good addition to that. So that little set was $1.80. Okay, we're coming back a little bit cheaper than Amazon for 52 pieces in that one. And then this one is a bohemian one. I'm not really sure why I got this. I mean, out of all the stickers they have, I don't know why I picked this one. But this set is 50 pieces for $1.91. I don't know, maybe I just thought it had some, it has mushrooms, which I like mushrooms. And some flowers, so I don't know. It's obviously got a retro 70s kind of vibe to it. Okay, these are all just gonna fall on the cat. That's cute. So there's a cute little kit there. And then the last stickers. And now, okay, so talk organization. How does one organize all of their crafting junk? So I have a lidded tub from Walmart that has all my Biddy Bundle pieces in it. Ow. So that I can, when I'm ready to make some new ones, if the ones I've listed ever sell and I can make some new ones, then I can just pull out that tub and collate. So these will all go in that. All right, and then the last stickers are some more, these look like framed flowers. So similar to the butterfly ones with the clear spaces and just lots of different flowers. It's hard to show these because they're kind of slippery and they're reflective. So, all right, in this set, there was 50 in this set for $1.79. So really all of these were good, well priced, except for that $2.45 one. That was, I would say, a bit overpriced for those retro electronics. Okay, so I think we're done with the stickers, but let's see what else we have in this order while we're here. Oh, let's get the napkins out of the way because that's probably not as interesting either. What am I saying? All this stuff is interesting to crafters, and maybe I'll save the fashion stuff for the end. So I have done some crafting on here live. Did I do live crafting on here with this? Now I can't remember, but I've shown you guys how to do decoupaged book page with napkins. And so Temu's got a great selection of napkins that I can't necessarily find. Dollar Tree has a good selection of napkins too, but I picked up a few from Temu. So we've got this one that's a mushroom themed and it's square, and it I take one out. They would also be great decoupaged on playing cards, not just book page, but playing cards. And so with one like this, you could easily fussy cut out any kind of image, or you could use it as is. But are these single ply? These look like they're single ply, but wait a second, let me check this corner. think it's double ply actually. But can I separate it? It's, well, you won't be able to see. Hold on. Okay. So the important thing is when you're doing decoupage, you've got to separate, you only want the top layer of your napkin. So you would have to separate the whole napkin, but this is how it looks. So you're getting really 4 of the same image on it. And you would get your book page, you would get either your, you could use Elmer's glue, but you need to water it down. You could use Mod Podge, but you need to water it down. You don't want it like the super thick gluey. It needs to be wetter than that. And you take your brush, you brush that onto the paper, then you lay down your napkin, and then you lay another layer on top of it to kind of smooth out the wrinkles. Although I think wrinkles are kind of nice in this type of application. It wouldn't be nice for all decoupage things, but for this, I kind of like the effect of the wrinkles, and it's also helpful because it's really hard to get all the wrinkles out. There are some videos out there on YouTube of how to get all the wrinkles out, but I don't know. It's a lot of work, and I don't think this particular craft needs to be time intensive. So then I also got, I'll give you the price of all the napkins in a minute, but then I also picked up these birds because I love birds, and these could each be cut out kind of a thing. And let's see if this is a 6-panel one or just 4. And I will probably, I'm trying to get enough variety in napkins that I can create some napkin variety packs to put in my store. For people that don't want to go out and have to buy 10 different packages of napkins just to get 10 different designs. All right, so 6 panels in this one. And this is a nice shape because a lot of book page is this shape too. So you could pretty much just about do the full page if you wanted to. And then this one is a 2-ply also. But then it's like folding up a map. That's the right direction. And then the other napkins I got are butterflies. You'll be hard pressed, in my opinion, to find cheaper craft supplies than Temu unless you go to a creative reuse store. So one of my next videos is going to be, I went back to the creative reuse store. Jason and I split a paper bag and spent $15 filling up the bag. So one of my next videos will be showing you that. And that really is the cheapest way to get craft supplies. But obviously you've got to pick and choose from what's been donated to them. So that can be a little challenging. But here's the butterfly one. So really, really like these. Now, obviously, maybe you want to get these for napkin purposes. And so I think these are all really cool. And they have tons and tons of different designs. And let's see what the prices are as to how that compares to the real world. So the mushroom ones, you get 20 for $4.15. So very pricey compared to Dollar Tree, but you're getting a nicer design. The 20-piece butterfly is $3.99. And the 20-piece birds is $3.98. Oh, they were Hawaiian birds and pine cones. So Definitely more expensive than Dollar Tree because you can still get theirs for $1.50, $1.75. So you get almost twice as much from the Dollar Tree. But again, even though they have seasonal ones and so their stock does change, it's still like right now, I don't know about your Dollar Trees, but my Dollar Trees have solid colors for their Halloween Thanksgiving. There's like solid orange, solid green, and solid burgundy. Like, what? That's so boring. What's the deal? So I don't know. So you definitely get more variety from Temu. All right. Then I got a few different stamps. Oh my gosh. So we went to the Creative Reuse store today, spent our $15, and then we had some time to kill, so we went into Goodwill before we had to pick up my son from school, and somebody had donated probably their entire craft supply, and so, and they had a bunch of Cross Your Heart stamps, and they also had some Simon Says stamps, which are like my ultimate favorite brand of stamps. They had some, they didn't have any Stampin' Up stamps, but they had some Stampin' Up punches. So I did get one of those, but I would have gotten another one, but my Goodwill, or at least this one, well, I think all Goodwills are overpriced nowadays. So they were like $8 for the stamp, which is a good price compared to the original price of the punch, but not for a Goodwill. Come on, Goodwill. But I did pick up a bunch of stamps, which I'll show you in a different video. They were like $2.86, which I decided was a good price for those brands. Altenew was another one, which is a good brand. But I picked up some from Temu, and I have never had a problem with the Temu ones either. I prefer the clear stamps to the rubber stamps, because the rubber stamps, you can't place things exactly where you want them. And even though in junk journaling, I don't think that's as important as it is in card making, I still want to be kind of specific. So I picked up this one so that I could make things look like film strips and negatives by putting a border around it. Now I did also buy, if you watch Seven Plaza, she has a coffee shop and she has a freebie section in her coffee shop. Now I didn't find this actually in the freebie section, so I guess let me put that in there. I did, I think, pay $4, but she has a digital kit that you would print out on acetate sticker paper or just clear sticker paper that you would then put over paper or whatever, and it would be really cool. But this would be another way to do that with stamping. So I thought that was a neat little set. And the stamps are all very reasonably priced on Temu, comparable with the Goodwill. I also picked up this one because it's got butterflies, but I also like the bugs. If you were going to make a specimen card, these are great bugs for that. And we've got a bee, which is nice also. And what does this say? Does this say something? This says, always believe that something wonderful is about to happen. So, and then there's a few other words, like if you were trying to make your own postcard or stamps, I guess would make more sense because they give you this little stamp frame down here. Duh, Amy. So that's what this is really for, to make your own stamps. And I have a different stamp set that has the cancellation marks for postage, which would be great for this. So that was a cute set. And then both Galia and Jason want to do bullet journaling. So I picked up this stamp set for a lot of the habit tracker kind of things, but I also really got it for this round one. I really wanted a round stamp that I could use, stamp something and then use in crafting. So this round one, even though it's really for the organization and stuff too, I got this one really for the crafting. These other ones really will be more for Jason and Galia. So all the stamps, let's see what we paid for those. The butterfly bug stamp set was $237, and okay, there's no more stamps in that order. So the bullet journal stamp set, I got that for free, but it's $279 retail price. And the negatives or the slides one, I got that one for free, and it is $282 normally. So pretty good deals I feel like on those that you can't really go wrong with. Hi, let me take a brief moment out of our video to let you know that today's video is sponsored by Junk for Goats. Junk for Goats is my business where I sell and resell vintage, antique, and some modern ephemera for all of your junk journaling or crafting needs. I have shops on Etsy, Whatnot, and I list my digital items on my coffee shop. All of the links for those are below in the description, so please check that out. It's also important to note that 10% of all the proceeds from my sales are used to purchase goats from Compassion International. Those goats are provided to families across the world to help them meet their own families' needs in terms of their diet, but they can also take and sell the milk and the cheese that they produce from their goats to their friends and family nearby, helping to provide them with an income source that is valuable in the areas in which they live. So if you would like to craft with a difference, please check out the description below. And as always, thank you, and please enjoy the rest of the video. Thanks. All right, so next, we've got this, which is an ironing pad. I don't really know what the purpose of this is for because it doesn't say anything on here, and it's sewn all the way around, so it feels like this should be their mark, fashion mark, whatever brand, but it's not got anything on it, so I don't know. But it is a pad, a felt pad to use for ironing, so I thought, you know, if I want to iron on my desk when I finally get Gabby's desk set up for filming, I'll want to have this so that I don't damage the desk underneath it, because it would bow. It's like plastic, I guess you'd say. So the mat is, I paid $367. It is basically a 16 by 12 inch size. So very portable. I've got a little Temu iron that would work great with this. Or if I were using a heat gun, maybe I would put it on this to do that. But it is a portable, high-quality ironing mat, durable, heat-resistant, foldable design for quilting. Well, I don't know that I'd fold it, but I guess you could if you wanted to. And it's currently $447, which I don't know if that's a good price or not. All right, then there's only two more crafting things, and hold on, I'm getting dry mouth. So how you guys been? Have you been enjoying your week so far? I hope I have been by the time this airs. I don't know, you guys. I've been kind of depressed, you know, with my whole work situation, and I'm still doing my best and everything, but it just, I don't know, it just doesn't, it's just missing something at the moment. So hopefully that'll change. I mean, everybody goes through a funk with their job, right? I mean, unless you work for yourself, but even then, I'm sure you have periods of time that are a little nerve-wracking and whatnot. But okay, have you seen this? This is a paper cutter with four different styles of blades. So this one, you can do a perforated cut. This one is the straight cut. This one is a squiggly, and I'm not sure what this one is. So I'm hoping we can try all of these out together. Let me see if these, one of these sticker packs has a paper in it that we can, because I don't see any. Well, hold on. I don't know if I can. This is one of my digital kits, but maybe I can try to cut like along here. So the idea is that you turn this to whichever one you're wanting to use at the time. The disadvantage of this though is that there's no sides. So if you're trying to measure where, like on a standard paper cutter, I always measure where, you know, I'm measuring, so I need this ruler to come out so I know to cut it in the right spot, unless I'm just simply trying to go in the middle of something. So you got to keep that in mind. But this does flip up, and so the first one I've got on here is, oh, this paper. Well, okay, I'm gonna turn this paper this way so it looks, it's going in like this. And we're doing this squiggly line. I don't know how easy this is going to be for me to do while I'm just sitting here like this, but we'll try it. All right, so once you have your paper in, you're just going to pull this down. Okay, now did it go all the way through? Okay. It cut it, but it didn't cut it all the way through, which would be okay if it were the perforated one, but this is the squiggly one. So note to self, you need to go back and forth. This is 110-pound paper, so it really didn't work. It really didn't work on that. So let's try this again. Let's see if I can maybe do, let's see if I can cut, I'll cut part of this off so I don't have just all this paper in the way. It's like I don't want to damage any of my actual pieces on here so that I can reuse or use them. Okay, I'm gonna try this again. I've got my paper in, and I'm gonna go back and forth a few times, I guess. I'm gonna hold down here to kind of help hold the paper in place. So I'm going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I don't know how many times I went back and forth, but a lot. And then you can see. So it just depending, but top and the bottom, not so great. But that's a nice edge. But I don't know how well it's gonna work on, you definitely couldn't do more than one piece at a time. But it's a nice edge, but it is not apparently got a very deep blade. Now I'm curious, I don't see a way to get this blade out to replace it. So this may be a one and done kind of thing. All right, let's see if we can figure out, we don't need to look at the straight line one because we all know what that should look like. So let me get another, let me see if I can, maybe do over here. So yeah, it's really in the entirety of my adult life, I have gained a lot of my personal value from my job, which is not right. You should get it from God, because in my belief, that's really the only thing that matters in terms of your value. Your value comes from God. So it's not good that I've always gotten my value from work, but it's probably pretty typical. Maybe not as typical for women. I don't know, maybe more so, maybe it's gaining value, or that's becoming a higher thing for women now that there's more and more women doing more and more things out of the house. But yeah, so it's hard for me when it's not full on love mode for my job. That it's hard for me because I get so much value from that. All right, I'm gonna go back over this several times too. And oh, okay, you cannot go back and forth with that because apparently, so this is the dashed line and it apparently cuts all the way through what would have originally been dashed. So this is a great. Okay, well, let me tear off the part that we were looking at before, and then I'll do another. I'll just go once this time, and we'll see. Yeah, so I'm not sure I would recommend buying this, to be honest. So here was the perforated one, and I think that it only took the one time. It easily went through, and in true typical perforation style, you should bend it back and forth and then be able to, so that part worked, okay? You just can't go back over it and over it. So I guess you learn how all of these work with some test paper. But now I want to know what this arrow one is, because I just don't understand. I don't understand what that does. Maybe I should look at the listing real quick, just in case it's something weird so I don't keep wasting the paper. Okay, I paid, wait, go back. I got this thing for free. It's currently sold out. There are other ones. So I had thought about getting this one, but I didn't think I'd like that style as much. But I think those you can actually take out and only have the one on it that you use. But I thought it would make more sense to have this turny dial thing so that the blades were always there, but maybe not. Maybe one of those other ones would have worked better. So I'm not seeing the exact one that I have right now, but yeah, so that means I can't even, oh yeah, I can still, because it's just sold out, it's not discontinued. So I can at least get in and see if it shows what that particular, okay. Oh, the arrow is embossing. It's not cutting. So it's going to make a fold line or a crease. Okay. Do I still have, I don't have the paper on there. What did I do with it? Well, I'm going to try to put a fold line in between these two cards. And it does not have a wire. I'm accustomed to using Fiskars, which has a wire so that you can really line it up. So you've kind of got, it's got a little notch on it, but it's not all that great. Okay, so now I'm gonna, okay, it had something on it, on the blade apparently, since you can see, but it did not, you would have to, it made a super light indentation here. Not at all what I'd be used to with my actual, the actual one that I always use for this. But it sort of works, I guess. So those are all the things it does. I don't know. I didn't pay anything for it, so I guess it's kind of is worth that. And it's sold out, but it's kind of, I thought it's a neat idea to have all that in there because I have scissors that do the squiggly, but this would be nicer, I thought, if you just were trying to do a single line. So I don't know. Take it as you will. Then I got this, which makes letters. So I've got ones of these that do the folds and stuff for envelopes and all of that. But I got this one to make letters. So depending on where you put the paper and stuff. So I'm guessing there's a formula for each letter in the instruction book that's included. It creates 1.5 by 2.5 inch letters and numbers with this easy to use punch and cut system. So it comes with the book, and should I just make a simple A for Amy? Okay, so here's 5 steps for the A, or maybe just 4. I don't know. Do I have, does it say you have to start out with a certain size piece of paper? Trim your paper to 1.5 by 2.5 inches. Okay, well, it would have been smart if I would have thought ahead and brought my regular paper cutter up here. Can I even get a, can I even get a good cut from that monstrosity we just looked at? Where are the, here's the stickers that have the, actually, let's try this one with this paper. Okay, 1.5 by 2.5 inches. Okay, let's turn this to get it to the straight line. Has this only got centimeters on it? Oh, it's got inches at the top. Is it really? I don't know if that's an inch or not. Do I have? I do. I have a ruler in my little box. So let's use this. What a joke. Do I also have a pen in there that I can mark this? I do. I actually have a pencil. That would be smarter. So let me measure and cut this. We'll do live action crafting or live action product review. Okay, I said 1.5 by 2.5. That's not very big. It's like I want to do this in the way that will give me the most value out of this piece of paper. So I guess we'll go 1.5 here. So let me cut that. You know it's not going to be straight trying to do this. But we'll try to line it up sort of straight. Okay. Got my straight line. Go back and forth like 6 times. And it's almost fully, oh, it did. It fully separated. All right, and then I just need 2.5. So let me get that marked. 2.5. Wow, this is exciting stuff. Aren't you glad you didn't miss this? Although I imagine this is not what you were hoping for out of a Temu video. But 'tis what it is. All right. Okay, yay. So it's not a complete piece of junk. All right, so that's how big this is. 1.5 by 2.5. All right, then where did the contraption go? All right, so it's gonna come out. It's gonna look like this. All right, so for an A, we're gonna start out by putting the card in like this, because I guess we're gonna do the whole for the A first. So it goes in like this, and then we just punch because it's gonna come out the back. So let me get that put back down. Punch, so it came out. Got my little piece here. So now we have that part of the A. Then, oh, we have to turn around and do that again? Yep, I have to turn around and do that again. So now it's gonna be like this, where we've got our hole here. And we're gonna punch that again. This would be much easier to punch if it weren't on my lap. Okay, so now we've got this. And a little piece there. Okay, what's next? Then, oh, we've got to put our page up in here. Does this come up? What does this do? Oh, yes, so this comes up. Obviously, we're going to be cutting the legs off of one of these to get legs for the A. So I'm lining it up in here. There's you can't see it, but there's a little stoppers right along here, so it can't go anywhere. And then what? Where is the... Oh, so this right here, just like this. So then you're going to put it in... I've got to put it in this little groove and then this little groove and go all the way up to where it stops right here. But there doesn't seem to be anything that's going to make me stop there except me. Like there's no, that I can tell at least. Is there stoppers? No, there's no stoppers. So you get it in, and then you're just gonna, oh, well, you pretty much go until it gets to the hole, and then it stops automatically. Okay, so you don't have to worry about going too far. So there, it came out there. So I don't know, this could probably easily fall out. There's nothing really holding it in place. All right, now we're gonna curve the A, which is down here. So we're just first putting it in this way and punching. So we've got one side, and then we have to go back in the other side to do it again. I don't know where that piece went. Oh, maybe it fell down already. Aw, so we have an A. Yay! So you can see it would take a really long time to do a whole name, but yeah, so there's instructions for how to do every single letter. Okay, I like that. I like that. I guess I didn't consider the fact that you would have to, that they would have to be a certain size, but it'd be really easy to cut a bunch of papers that 1.5 by 2.5 inch size to just have them, or even scrap paper after I've done a project. If I have leftover book page and stuff, put them in this box and then make letters out of them. Oh, that'd be so fantastic. All right, so I am in love with that little gadget. So did I already tell us what that cost? I don't think I did. Okay. So I paid $12 for that. So that was, I don't know if that's expensive or not, but, and it does say mini alphabet, so it makes me think that We Are Memory Keepers may have a bigger version, or Fiskars might even too, might have a bigger version to do like big letters. But I'm kind of satisfied with this. I mean, you guys, if I were ever to the point where I was really like doing well, I could make letters as part. So when somebody orders from my shop, I have one of those folded book pages that I made with you guys that I stuff with little pieces of ephemera and stuff. And I could put their name in it if I were really on top of things. So I don't know, maybe that'll be a good way to use up some scrap paper. So I paid $12. It's currently $12.03. And yeah, that would be so, I think that would be a lot of fun. And I'm sure once you figure out what all those are, you could probably figure out how to make the letter without looking up the pattern every time. So, because like if it were a B, I wouldn't have cut this part out, and I wouldn't have cornered, I would have cornered this side and this side, and then I'd have a B. So I think you'd eventually not need the book, but it's there if you do need it. So yeah, I really like that. Okay, now we're finally to the close, although there's only 2 things. So this came from a local warehouse, I believe. Feels soft, which is nice. I wanted to be sure to get a Halloween shirt for this year. It looks like I ordered large. I maybe should have ordered extra large, although it looks plenty big enough. But look, you guys, in October, we wear pink because October is Cancer Awareness is it all cancer? Oh, my iron-on's not, it's not good. Can I get that out? If I like iron over that, can I get that pucker out? I mean, it's gonna, oh, it's even got a little hole in it. Is that because the eyes are not part of the design? But none of the other ones had that problem. Oh, I know it's silly, but I may put in to get a replacement on this. Just so I have it, just so it lays nicely. What does it look like on the back side? It's super soft, which I'm always leery of buying shirts off of local warehouse because they're almost always cotton. But yeah, I guess what I was starting to say, is it all cancer awareness in October or just breast cancer? Because I know breast cancer is pink. Yeah, so there's the puckering. So I don't know, I'm probably gonna, I want to be able to wear it for a while, you know. I don't want it to be, I just don't know if I could fix it with ironing it, because it feels like the iron-on laid poorly in that spot. So yeah, you need to be satisfied with your purchases. So, and that's why they've got the satisfaction guarantee. So yeah, I'm going to try to get them to replace this. And it looks like it is a little off center as well, but you kind of get used to that with Temu stuff. But yeah, I feel like this is the center. So, but it's still a really cute shirt. But yeah, this will bother me, and I might as well be satisfied. So, but I think the size will be okay. It looks like it runs big. Oh, I still want this to be my thumbnail though. So let's, all right. And then let's see what I paid for that. I paid $7.37, and it is a plus size women Halloween graphic t-shirt. It comes in sizes 0XL to 5XL. So I ordered the 0XL. Yep, I ordered the 0XL, so it had an L tag on it, which I think makes sense because I think the 1XL converts to XL on the ladies' side. And it's currently $6.35. So I definitely want to make sure to get that replaced before they don't have any more, because obviously October's coming, so I want to get it so I can maybe wear it a couple times in October. But wasn't it cute with the pink ghosts? I love pink, and I especially love bright, well, this one's the only bright pink one, but I especially love bright pink on black. Like pink and black's just about my favorite color combination. So, and then last but not least, I got some jeans. A lot of my Temu jeans don't fit anymore. So, but I typically love Temu jeans. So they don't have a design on the pocket, but you can see we're doing some distressing. And some whitewashing, fading, but it's not too strong, I don't think. What do you think? I think that looks okay. And then it tapers. I prefer a tapered jean. but this is a nice color blue. So I'm trying to figure out what color this is, you guys, because I got this over the weekend at Walmart because I was freezing everywhere we went. And like, this is my standard gray Temu t-shirts, like gray heather, but this is like, so I can't tell if this is blue, like in some lights this looks, like in this light I guess they look pretty similar, but this looks a little bit bluer, but it doesn't look navy. But then Jason and Galia keep saying, well, it's got some green in it, and I'm like, green? So I don't know, maybe it really is just a different color gray. Problems, I don't know, this is not real life problems. Here's what the front looks like. Got our pocket watch holder. And are they stretchy jeans? Yes, stretchy jeans. And again with the fading, but not too strong. I always think this part is weird because I feel like they're trying to replicate the creases that you would get from naturally sitting, but I don't understand why they feel the need to replicate that. I mean, you'll get that naturally on your own after time. But then we've got the button, and the zipper is not too sticky. And what size did I get these in? I think I'm still wearing XL in pants. Okay, so you know how it's a brachioplasty to get your arms tucked? What is it for legs? And so I watched Tanya on Double T's Treasures. She had a video, I think she's only had one. I don't know if she's had a follow-up video yet, but she had brachioplasty done, and she like did the first 30 days of that. And if you haven't watched that, you should go watch it. But it makes me wonder, after seeing what they did for the arms, what would they do if all of the excess skin on your legs is where your butt meets your thighs? Because you have skin sagging from your butt and your thighs. Like, how would that work? I don't understand. Luckily, even though I now have extra skin everywhere, it's really only my arms that it bothers me. Like, it doesn't bother me too much in my legs because I'm not wearing Daisy Dukes or something, you know what I'm saying? So it's really only the arm one that I might ever consider doing if I, won the lottery and money was no object. But yeah, it kind of made me wonder, because she had to have things in her arms while it was healing to help with the drainage. And I'm like, where would that go if it was on your butt? So, okay, so what did I say? Did I say I paid $19.36? This was local warehouse, and they're currently $21.87. I got size extra large. They're available in sizes small through XXL, and they are calling this medium blue. And if they happen to be too long for you, like they are for the model, then you can just fold up the bottom. But overall, I think they're pretty cute. Now, she's got more distressing on her pockets than I got. Like, there's very light distressing down here and very light distressing here, but that's okay. And they are 75% cotton, 23% polyester, and 2% spandex. So yeah, so that is my Temu haul. And I hope that you enjoyed that, kind of the break from the, well, the Amazon ones videos are a break from the crafting stuff too, if you're not a crafting fan. So hopefully, although we did have a lot of crafting products in this, because Temu is one of the best places to buy crafting supplies. Now, I found, did I? That is not the right one. Hang on, I've got to grab my nostalgic TV trivia. Let me get a drink. All right, let's do a round of trivia. I'm melting now because our fan is starting, our ceiling fan is acting up and makes horrible screeching noises when it's on, so I shouldn't have worn this. Okay, who was the pig farmer on the series Green Acres? Which 1963-1964 musical program was taped before a live audience at a different college each week? Oh, I'm sorry, I gotta stretch out my legs. On what series did Darren McGavin portray Detective David Ross? Who starred as Daniel O'Brien on The Trials of O'Brien? Name the Flintstones' pet dinosaur. From what did the genie in I Dream of Jeannie appear? What town is the setting for Love of Life? And who portrayed what actor played Rodney Harrington on the old Peyton Place soap? Okay, who was the pig farmer on the series Green Acres? Well, I'm guessing they don't mean Eddie Albert's character, and I haven't seen Green Acres since the 90s, so I don't know. Which 1963-64 musical program was taped before a live audience at a different college each week? I don't know, but I want to say Dick Clark's American Bandstand. But I don't know if it was at colleges. Like if it was, okay. I've seen maybe 2 or 3 of these, and again, it would have been probably in the 80s. So I really don't know, but I can't think of a different musical program that was at a different college. So I'm just gonna say American Bandstand. And it feels like American Bandstand would have been in the 60s, right? With a young Dick Clark. Okay. On what series did Darren McGavin portray Detective David Ross? Now, was Darren McGavin the dad on Christmas Story? But what series would that have been? Police? I don't know. Who starred as Daniel O'Brien on The Trials of O'Brien? Well, I hate these when it turns out that the person is playing themselves, so I'm going to just say Daniel O'Brien. Name the Flintstones' pet dinosaur. Well, all I can think of is Dino, so that's what I'm going to say. From what did the genie in I Dream of Jeannie appear? Well, from her genie bottle, right? So when I was in 8th grade, I took pottery, and what did I decide to make for my pottery design? A genie bottle, because of I Dream of Jeannie. And this would have been in the 89 maybe, when I was in 8th grade. So because I was watching I Dream of Jeannie and Bewitched were on right after each other after school on TBS at the time. So yeah, so I'm going to say her genie bottle. What town is the setting for Love of Life? I don't know, so I'm just going to say Springfield. And what actor played Rodney Harrington on the old soap Peyton Place? I never watched that, so I don't know that either. All right, who was the pig farmer? Fred Ziffel or Zeifel? Ziffel. Okay, well, I was not right with American Bandstand. It was Hootenanny. Okay. On what series did Darren McGavin portray Detective David Ross? That was The Outsider. Who starred as Daniel O'Brien on The Trials of O'Brien? Peter Falk. Okay. Well, now I might want to go watch that. I really do like things that Peter Falk was in. I loved Columbo, so. Name the Flintstones' pet dinosaur. Dino. From what did the genie in I Dream of Jeannie appear? It was a bottle. What town is the setting for Love of Life? Barrowsville. Oh, and what actor portrayed Rodney Harrington on the old Peyton Place soap? Ryan O'Neal. All right, well, I got 2. I got Dino and a bottle, so 25%. Let me know how you did in the comments. And we are getting close. I don't know if you can see this, but we've got this many cards left to go before we've done the whole box. And I'm not sure what, I think I might want to do advertising next. I think that that might be the easiest for everybody. I feel like movies or, well, I definitely don't want to do sports. I don't know any sports, but I might know a few advertising. So I might go to that next. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed yourself in this Temu visit. I know some of you are only here for the Temu one, so if you're back from having been gone for a while, welcome back. And I hope you'll consider watching the Amazon ones and let me know what you think. But anyway, thank you for watching, subscribing, liking, commenting, all of those things. All of those things really, really help small channels like this. I mean, once you get to a certain size channel, I feel like it just exponentially grows. Like, I watch Max versus Food, and he was at 48,000 like maybe a month ago, and now he's at 52. So I feel like once you get to a certain size, you just naturally, you don't need a lot of help to grow, but I still need a lot of help to grow. So thanks in advance for all your support. Make sure you check out the Etsy shop in case there's anything in there that interests you. And otherwise, wherever you are, whenever you are, I hope you're having a great day. And until we meet again, take care of yourself. Bye.